Hi everyone, it's Jess. Today I'm going to take you on a journey with your singing, hopefully. We're going to look at some breathing, but we're also going to look at how that can help ground you and support your singing. So, when we talk about breathing in singing, it's not actually something as a teacher, as a choir leader, that I go on about too much because I'm a great believer that the breath just comes and it goes. And yes, we need to pay attention to it as singers, but I don't want to be a slave to it. So I don't want us to always have to mark in exactly where we're going to breathe and making sure we always breathe in those places, which can sometimes happen if you focus too much on the breathing. But it is good to obviously address it and realize the importance of it. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is just to look at how you breathe when you sing. The best way to do this is to have a scarf, and if you can, or use your hands, but some people like to use a scarf and put it around your middle, your abdomen area. So when we ask children in particular to breathe in, often this happens. So they come up, their chest lifts up, and then they breathe out. And obviously, we know that's not how we breathe, that's not actually the mechanisms of it or how it works. So I want you to imagine that when we're breathing, it's a real outwards and in motion. So that whole kind of up and down is never what we want to achieve as singers. So we want a real out and in. Just like if you were to hold a balloon here, and if you were to fill that, the balloon would get bigger. So I want you to just lower your breathing from your chest. If you're using a scarf around your middle, then do, or put your hands there, and I want you to take some air in. And your middle should be expanding, getting bigger, getting fatter, and always go, when it's released, always going back in. So nothing should be happening on your chest or with your shoulders. And having that scarf around you, or a tie, or your hands, depending on how big your hands are, that can help you kind of pay attention to whether you are actually expanding in this middle area, or is your chest coming up too much. So just do that again for me. So do what you want around your middle and take some air in. If you're using a scarf, just tie it so you can gently feel the pressure when you expand outwards. So as that happens, you should feel that on the actual tie of the scarf. Now I'm going to demonstrate how we can use that lower belly breathing to help us with sound and the quality of our singing. But I'm also going to demonstrate what happens when we sing from the chest, and how naff it can actually sound, and how you can just not feel supported at all. So I'm using just a small snippet from Carl Jenkins' Adiamus, and it's just a simple line that goes like so. Now I didn't really pay any attention to my breath before I did that, and you probably found that I was low on breath, or you noticed that I was low on breath when I got to the end of it. Now I'm going to demonstrate if I was to sing that just by breathing from chest upwards. So a poor way of breathing. So I'd lift up. The notes are wavery, the tone is not at all rich, and it's quite a wobbly feel. As a singer, I don't feel very grounded at all, and I don't feel very supported when I'm breathing from here. So now if I just think low, if I think of really grounding and sending my breathing downwards, so I'm going to really support it this time, and here we go. Oh. is hopefully a better example of how we can support the sound by using a much lower breathing technique. Now, when you're in a choir setting, especially when you're standing up, often people immediately go to the chest and shoulders because they're thinking that they're standing in a really lovely way. But you do want to make sure that your breathing is very low and you're very grounded. Now, actually, I would like to stand up. If I stand up, can we move that at all? So if we are breathing from the chest, as I said, when we're standing in a choir, we might like to try and stand tall. And that's great to do, but actually we want to dip down a bit when we're supporting low, and we want to make sure that our foundation is very strong with our legs and our feet connected to the floor, and our knees are nice and loose. Now, we never lock the knees. If we lock knees when we sing, it actually stops blood circulation, and we don't want that to happen. So we want to be constantly kind of fluid, but still very grounded with the feet on the floor. So knees nice and loose. And again, if we were to take the air in from the lower support, we'll get fatter and then we'll get thinner as it goes out. So again, we take it in like a balloon, getting bigger. And you can almost, visualize that and actually do it with your hands. So now we're going to sing that again, and actually sing it with me this time. Let me just record that. So we're just going to sing that phrase. And I want you to just really think about your foundations and how it's all working for you and your breathing. Here we go. And then have a go at doing it in a kind of bad way. So do it on the chest, do some breathing up here, lift your shoulders up, feel how unnatural and unstable it is, and then really try and ground your breathing, bring it lower, and do it in that good way. Keep practicing, keep singing, and I will see you all soon.